Hello! In this video I was going into the outside world to buy some new art supplies. But the first thing I noticed as I left the car were these randomly upside down hanging plastic birds in front of a building. I just had to show them to you. They reminded me of that meme with a magpie hanging upside down from a piece of laundry. Anyways, at first I planned to film while I was picking out the supplies I wanted in the store, but it was nearly impossible for me to do everything at once. There were also so many people that I just had chests in front of my camera, and yeah, so at least I can give you a nice picture of the front of the store. You are welcome! So, back at home. As you can see, I have found quite the amount of stuff that I can show you. Please consider this was my first visit at an action store, so I kind of got a little bit overexcited with the amount of stuff I bought. I'm aware that these art supplies might not be the best quality, but nevertheless I'm excited to compare them to my trusted supplies in future videos. So who knows, maybe they prove me wrong and they turn out pretty awesome. So the first item is some pastel colored crepe paper. I thought the colors were pretty and that I could use it for several craft projects, or just as colorful packaging material, or just for wrapping presents. These fairy craft sheets I have seen for the first time. I just had to have them. They have a sticky side, so I kind of want to stick them everywhere in the house just to confuse my boyfriend a little bit. Yeah, and these are just some simple plain cardboard canvases. For this thing, I'm very nosy if it works. It is a pen that heats up, and if you get over that foil with it, you might apply it on paper, wood and leather, so the packaging promises. And you could get very detailed with that pen. And because I didn't just want the included golden foil, I bought these other colors as well. Rose gold and a rainbow pattern. They had so many pretty fabric sheets that I had a hard time to choose which ones I wanted to take with me. I ended up with these spring flower themed ones and with the winter and fall themed collection of them. You can even use the ribbon that holds everything together. The winter and fall themed fabric sheets are still buried in that huge bag on the floor. What I show you there are leatherette sheets in very unusual holographic and glittery colors. They seem kind of trashy, but I think that's gorgeous. So, from these, I haven't heard anything about either. Why do they exist? For what do you need them? Do they really show up on black paper? Oh, and they are glitter pens as well. I didn't realize it until now that I'm editing this video. Well, perfect. I can compare them now with my branded glitter pens. Yay! I have a collection of gouache paints from the brand Schminke Academy, but for my paste they are a bit too liquidy, and I'm very excited to compare them to these cheap ones. And I really wanted to compare these watercolors in tubes as well with my other Schminke watercolors. I'm so very satisfied with my Schminke watercolor sets that I want to know how big the contrast between these supplies must be, considering the contrast with the price. So I'm very excited to try that. Yeah, these colors want to be metallic watercolors. Don't you think that they just look as if they could be eyeshadow? I think they look extremely pretty arranged like this. I'm very excited because I'm going to compare these with my metallic watercolors from Paul Rubens. I have to mention that all the packaging of these supplies are extremely nice. They absolutely don't appear to be bad quality at all. So, going on to the next watercolor art supplies. I have never owned water-soluble pens. Well, at least none that are intentional water-soluble. So I don't have pens to compare them to these, but nevertheless, I'm going to find out what I can make with them. These Twinmarker sets look the same as the water-soluble ones, but these are alcohol-based markers. I have once found similar ones at a store called Teddy. I haven't tried them until now, so I'm going to compare these two with each other. I don't have any experience with alcohol markers yet, so it might be very interesting and embarrassing maybe, but also very exciting. And this package of 4 Twinmarkers are alcohol based as well, so I thought I wanted to include them for comparison as well. They look different than the other ones in these sets, but maybe it's just the packaging and it was so, yeah. Oh no. And here we have a paint set that I can compare to a pricier one again. These are liquid watercolors you could just throw over your paper without the need to add water to them anymore. I have heard that Action would have sold a pastel set of these as well, but I just could find the bright colored ones, so that was a bummer. There we have the other fabric set I thought was so pretty and had to come with me, that is winter and fall themed. Of course, some acrylic paints had to come with me as well. These are pastel ones. I don't think that they are opaque or so, but I really hope they are at least nice to use and not too watery. Although if they are, that could be nice pouring colors. Ah yeah, I thought I really could need new paint palettes. Most of the time I use tints or everything I can find laying around in my room. I have some really old and crusty ones that I can now get rid of. Of course, I purchased some paints to compare them to my favorite acrylic paint brand as well. At first I panicked a little bit that I bought them accidentally twice, but luckily these acrylic tubes just looked very similar to the watercolors in tubes. So, yeah, no accidental double purchases. I really like that they come in a metal tin for storage, though that is neat. Although they are strangely tiny for acrylic paints, but for beginners the size is great, I think. I have also never seen acrylic paints with such a light pearl effect either. I am kind of very skeptical if they perform in any way as it is shown on the packaging. If the paint, even inside the tubes, is shown this light of a color, I don't have hope that they can look this pigmented when painted on paper. Well, nevertheless, I'm very, very excited if they really can look like the package promises. I have bought something like this from Amazon for way more money, but in a bigger size. So this scoring board appeared very practically to me for small projects. I could not leave this thing behind, especially not for that price. These beads are so tiny and had pretty colors, so they had to come with me as well. I could also even consider to use the transparent tubes they come with for craft project. So they had to come with me. These are just some stones in a very light pinkish color and in different sizes. I also discovered this polymer clay that is bakeable. It was so cheap that I just can't believe that this might be a good clay to use, but of course I'm going to compare it to some clay that is higher in price and known for its quality. Since I sometimes crochet, I wanted to try out these crochet needles as well. I'm a bit concerned because they are completely out of metal, that the color may chip by using these for a while, and I don't know if my hands could get sweaty with them, but therefore I could just stick that furry sticky sheets around them, for example, or some duct tape. We will see. These scissors are surprisingly very good for thin paper and stuff. I'm definitely going to buy another pair of these if I go to the Action store again, because I use this one to cut off old leaves from my plants now. I've looked for a glass bowl like this for some time. I think it has so much craft potential that I can't decide yet for what I want to use it exactly by now. And now for the last item, and it is not an art supply. Ta-da! I just couldn't get out of the store without taking this little figure with me. I kind of like toys. I think there are so many creative ideas combined in toys that I'm fascinated by them. This one can light up and was very cheap and cute, so she came with me as well. Sadly, they just had this green figure and none of the others that are displayed on the back and that you could collect. Otherwise, I would have taken some more with me, to be honest. So yeah, that's all I have bought at my first Action visit, and I think it is a lot. But everything costed me in total just €56.77. To have a comparison, I paid the triple amount of that money for just one watercolor palette I own. So yeah, I'm very, very nosy how these supplies are going to perform and to show it to you in my upcoming videos. I hope you like what you've seen. Till the next video, bye!